I'm going to talk with you right now about pressure that children get when they're in a school environment versus homeschooling. Now, my children were in school in the earlier years, but I took them out when my son was in kindergarten and my daughter was in third grade. And my daughter was doing fine in school. She was part of a gifted program that was 20 minutes a couple of times a week. But I would go to the school to volunteer, and I found that she was just doing busy work. And she wasn't really involved in major decision making. She was not using her imagination. I just really didn't feel that it was like a great place for her to benefit emotionally, and I was wondering if I could help them to get a better education at home where they would have more ability to make their own decisions and to follow their own interests. Often my daughter would have stomach aches in school, and I'd go to the school nurse, and she was just really feeling sick sometimes at school because she was pressurized to do things that she didn't want to do. That doesn't mean that for all children in school environments that they're feeling that way. I think that there are some schools that look more at the individual learning style of the child, whether a child is an auditory learner or a visual learner or a kinesthetic learner. Very often a child learns tactily through hands-on projects. Not all children learn through auditory information like most schools expect. And so I believe in looking at the individual learning style. And so when my children came home and learned through homeschooling and they started following their own interests, they became extremely imaginative and creative. And we also gave them decisions to make. We took them to make decisions on all of our life situations. So if we were buying a car, they came with us and they helped us to choose which car. If I got a ticket, I took my kids to court, and they were involved in the whole process with me. So by homeschooling our children and letting them live through life learning, they are really benefiting greatly by learning through life and through what they're interested in. When my son was interested in learning about trains, we did trains in every single subject. So he was doing reading on trains. He was studying the history of trains. We went and we introduced him to model train engineers. So he was doing science with trains. And so you can do that with any topic that your child is interested in, and that is following the needs and interests of the child. And when they're learning what they really want to learn, I believe that that's when learning soars. Now, this kind of learning is called unschooling, all right, because we're not really taking an active part in their schooling. The parent is more the facilitator. And so I believe that this is the way that children should learn, the way that the pressure is taken off of them. They are not being forced. Instead, they are learning out of their own love to learn. When children are born, from the time that they're born until the time that they are sent to compulsory schools, they learn because they love learning. They want to learn. They learn everything about life in their first years, and then they go to school and they're being made to learn according to a certain curriculum. Now, who says that that specific curriculum is correct for all children? I believe that children learn according to their own time frame and according to their own love of what their interest is, and that's what homeschooling should be all about.